Welcome to the Lock In Podcast, episode 16 now. 16? Oh my god, that was awful. That is mental how many episodes we have actually done now. This for 16 weeks. I hope you're cracking open a cold one. Sit down and relax and join us for a drink. Sean, say hi.
Joe Rogan.
Joe Rogan. That's it. If let's get his name mentioned as many times, get ourselves trending. I'm Joel. That's Sean.
Yeah. Episode 16. We're legal now. We're
legal in the UK now. Weeks. Yeah.
I like how we're treating the podcast as actual ages. Like, yes, this is the thing now.
I can't wait for it to be older than us. That's going to be quite funny because that means it's over half a year as well, right?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. That's really cool.
That's going to be interesting.
Just throwing it out there. Joe Rogan, you know the deal I mentioned last week?
Yeah.
It was actually confirmed this week at over 9 figures. The deal to stream exclusively on Spotify.
So that man's basically balling it.
Oh yeah, like it's in the hundreds of millions.
He's basically looking. Do I buy a Malibu house or do I buy 2?
Yeah.
Do I need
matter.
2?
Buy 6.
I can have one for myself and then another one for my bitches.
Exactly. Yeah. He's earned money because he's already earning a lot anyway. This is a deal just to stream exclusively. He's still earning the profits from the stream.
That's mad. That is actually mad. That's like a 9. Imagine we pay 9 figures. Like, can you just stream and us?
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie. If that actually if that ever happens, if we ever get close to like anything, even if it's 7 figures, I'll go mad.
Yeah.
I'll probably go mad and be like, I'm going to the casino and put it all in black.
I'd like that a lot. That'd be great.
And just cry. Like, oh no.
Oh no, I've lost all my money. That's the thing. It's amazing, and if we could make this a career, what a dream that would be. Obviously, we're getting into these weird times.
Pipe dreams at the moment. It's pipe dreams at the moment.
Pipe dreams at the moment, but I'm enjoying this. We're building it up. We're building our little empire.
I'm liking it.
Yeah, exactly.
No one else is, but hey.
That's not true.
People listening to
all our listeners.
People listening to go, oh, the cringe is too real. I mean, you're there going like, yeah, this is great.
Yeah.
Joe Rogan.
Anyway, what are you drinking today, Sean?
I'm starting with a tea with some whiskey in, and after that I've got some. I've got 2 beers.
Lovely.
2 Coronas because, I've got to say it. I like to live life on the edge.
I love that. Well, speaking of I'm drinking the whiskey you got me again and Diet Coke, classic.
Wait! You mixed it with Diet Coke?
Yeah, I am.
Animal.
It's a
animal.
Scotch whiskey. Like, do you not put that with Diet Coke?
You can. Honestly, I'm just messing with Joel. Just drink what you want to drink, how you want to drink it. But it's just funny because like
I will.
You got like pure hearts. That's like I've got like the purist and everything else. So I just like it's not me like you can. This is someone I can't remember. There's someone on YouTube that when I went to a whiskey tasting thing, he actually took the mug and he's like he's named this guy and he gets like a glass and he pours the whiskey into a glass. He goes, yes. But basically, he's stirring the whiskey into a glass, and I just realised this is a vocal thing, and I'm just all I can hear is just me going, "Yes, that's good." Yeah. I can literally be doing anything right now, like insert knickers or anything, just like oh,
that's
weird.
So.
Yeah,
we should definitely make this a visual podcast.
We definitely do. That's probably the next thing we need to do.
Yeah, we could do that at like 18 or 21 kind of thing, like when we step it up again.
Yeah, just see how it goes and everything else.
Yeah. Also, I just want to bring up one thing. You turned your laptop so you're looking directly at me so that you're looking directly into the mic.
Yeah.
And immediately as you started that story, you looked away. So we've had a conversation about this. Sean looks away from the microphone a lot. And that makes it difficult to edit. I just stopped bothering.
I don't know what you mean.
Let's do it again. So when you guys can't hear Sean or he changes different volumes, that's not my bad editing and sound. That's because he keeps looking away from the goddamn microphone.
No, it's totally Joel. It's just if you looking for a person who can do the editing better than Joel because he's terrible.
Oh damn! That I put a lot of whiskey in that drink. Actually, mine's quite strong.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
Yeah, now basically he gets the whiskey glass, he stirs it, stirs
sorry.
the whiskey around and smells it. Every time he says something great, fantastic, brilliant, and he then tosses it into the bin and goes, and he ends it going, and that's how you drink whiskey. It's like, well, no, you didn't drink the whiskey. You just kind of smelt it like a pervert and just threw it in the bin. That's just rubbish. What the hell's wrong with you?
That's the way to truly drink whiskey. Not enjoy it.
Yeah, basically, it's like, you know, it's, and there's people who are like, I hate people like that. They're like, you know, pure. It's like, oh, you know, you have to do it exactly this way. It's like, yeah, but if they like it that way, then let them do it.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, I think people who put ketchup on roast dinners are completely nutter animals and should be locked up. It should be locked up in a zoo. But people do it, and that's what they like to do. So they're not hurting.
Who puts ketchup on roast dinner? I don't think I've ever seen someone do that.
I've seen someone do that, and literally, I've looked at them as if they're like monkeys in a zoo having sex. Like,
just a weird beast. Excuse me.
Like, do you know
I love the visual expressions
cat?
you do.
They do like the OMG cat. Like,
Yeah.
literally, that's literally me. Like, I wasn't even shy about it. It even looked at me like turn around on their table as they cutting into their chicken. Like, what's this guy's problem? And they're going like,
Excuse me.
I almost wanted to walk up to me like, look, we're civilized human beings. Get the hell out of this restaurant.
Yeah. Pour gravy on it.
Yeah,
That's what it's there for.
I actually asked for like, it wasn't, as you probably could tell, it was on holiday and it was a public area and everything else, and yeah, they
She
actually
just
asked,
popped off on him. Just started yelling at him.
they actually asked for ketchup, and the waiter was like, excuse me, ketchup, ketchup, yes. He looked at the dishes and went, you want ketchup? Yeah.
Even the
okay.
waiter judges them.
You get ketchup, and you could. And I was saying, I'm like, no, they are. It's happening. Oh
It'd be
God,
funny
no.
just to wind up the waiter with it and just be like, "Can I get ketchup?" and then just do nothing with it. I would have appreciated that more than them actually using it.
Yeah, that's yeah, it's yeah. If people like doing it, it's all to them. But I will judge you from a distance.
Yes. Yeah.
If I see you in public, put ketchup on a roast dinner, I will be judging you, and I won't be shy about. Oh God, I just burped this random mic. But that's nice for everyone to listen to. But yeah, I'll be judging you.
Here's one for you. I really like, and I think I only started liking it after I watched Dexter and the intro to that, where he puts he puts the ketchup on eggs. It's meant to be blood, like that's the joke, like in the film, because it's a serial killer. But he puts ketchup. God, I can't speak. The whiskey's hit hard. Ketchup on fried eggs, and it's really good. I never did it before, and now I'm really into it.
Yeah.
What do you think about that?
I mean, it's not something I'm going to try, but it's not, I wouldn't consider that weird.
Okay.
I wouldn't.
I used to be a fried egg purist, like salt and pepper only, and then I just put ketchup on it.
Well, my scrambled egg, I had a bit of milk to my scrambled egg.
Oh, well, yeah, of course, yeah. Bit scrambled egg, need a bit of milk, salt and pepper, perfect.
And a little bit of butter as well. It's
Oh,
nice.
sometimes a bit of
My scrambled egg is clean, not very healthy, but it tastes so good. But yeah, ketchup. I mean, it's not a reason you can't have ketchup.
Yeah.
I mean, I've never heard of it before.
Yeah, they do it in Dexter, the TV show. Like in the intro, there's like a little thing, and it's like splurts the ketchup on.
Well, it's
on
like
his eggs.
the thing I mentioned
like it a lot.
before, which again, every time I mention it, people like do the face of, literally the face of what I did when I saw the people put ketchup on their roast dinner, which is Weetabix, butter on Weetabix and butter.
Oh yeah,
and people look at me like, you're insane. I'm like, it tastes good. It's this bread's made out of wheat. Weetabix is made out of wheat. It's the same thing. Just have a nice cup of tea or a nice coffee with it, if you like coffee. But nice cup of tea, some Weetabix, a bit of butter. It's really good. You could try.
Yeah,
it.
I mean, I can't. I'm gluten intolerant. But everyone else at home, try it. Give it a go.
Well, in that case, Joel, you should try it. You should especially try it.
Yeah, I'll try
Just
it.
torture yourself.
Stomachache. Yay!
Just torture yourself.
I do like that.
For the sake of understanding.
Speaking of controversial opinions,
yeah, what are we talking about now?
This has been an eventful week, and I'm sure everyone at home knows.
Is this the George Ford bit?
Oh, I was going to jump into something else before that because I think there's something that I have a controversial opinion about.
No. Is it more lighthearted?
Slightly, yeah.
Okay. Well, for anyone's wondering, we are going to get back to the George
Floyd
bit, yeah.
Yeah, all right, we'll jump onto that. That is a deep subject, and we definitely want to speak about it. I want to speak about Dominic Cummings really quick.
Sorry, what's his last name?
Cummings.
Yeah.
Yeah. So great news on that as well. I've got a whole little story for you here. Do you know who Dominic Cummings is?
No, but his last name's funny.
Fantastic. Now, this is why I love speaking to you, because I love explaining the news to everyone. Dominic Cummings is a Conservative MP. And he, during the lockdown, drove to his house up in Durham, 260 miles away.
No, I have heard about this.
Yes.
He drove it.
Okay,
was
cool.
it because his wife got the corona?
His wife caught corona, and he was also coming down with it and felt ill. So he was worried that no one could take care of his child. So he drove up to Durham to go onto his parents' farm.
Mm-hmm.
Here, he didn't break any laws because in this time, when travelling, if it's for the safety of a child, on UK legislation, has said that is absolutely fine if it's for the safety of a child.
Right. Okay. But people are losing their shit.
People have absolutely lost their minds about this, and the media have slated him and asked for his resignation. This man is one of the smartest men in the UK and has done an extremely good job. I know the UK has died, a lot of people have passed away from corona, but his legislation has saved a lot of people, and I think it's insane that we are lynching him. I think it's that's a controversial opinion because a lot of people are against him, and I think it is insane that this is happening. I think he's done nothing wrong. It was for the safety of his child. And maybe there was better options, but he panicked in the day and he did it.
The question you've got to ask is this: if you was in his position, would you have done different? If the answer is, I think most people would have said no. Yeah. So, and during the time of the corona, there's been it's been a lot of new experiences for a lot of people and for the government. And there've been it's been like you've got to make a judgment call, and he might have got it wrong, but I don't think you should crucifix the man for it. He didn't do. He had best intentions at heart. He didn't do it out of a malicious thing. He didn't do it like, all right, the rules don't apply to me. He was like, I need to look after my kid.
Exactly.
Which is a fair thing. Whether he did wrong or, personally, I did think he did something wrong, but he did have he followed the guidelines set by the government. The problem was that, let's be honest, when Boris fell ill, the government literally was like, I don't know what we're doing. Just stay at home.
Yeah.
Just stay. That's what happened. There were no new information actually got fed through. It was only stay at home, and the only thing the press asked was like, when's the NHS going to get safety supplies and PPE and everything else? And they were like, we're working on it. That was literally the news for like a week or 2 weeks when Boris was like fighting for his life and everything else. And he was like, that's literally what happened. When Boris left, it was like the government was like, what do we do?
Yeah.
I don't know.
They lynched him as well. They were saying, why would you not report this to the Prime Minister and ask his advice first or get his approval for doing this? Because he was in hospital with COVID-19 at the time.
It was fine for his life, man.
Yeah, he was like, it's insane the questions they were asking. I do get, it feels outrageous that he's done it to go because of the laws the legislation he put in place. But I personally am on his side.
Okay, I do. The other thing I do want to point out that
go on, please. That's why I have this.
Is that the only fault of the government is the fact that this information that he followed the legislation and he saved people's lives off it. The fault is that the government didn't let everyone know. If that was the rule, a lot of people would have taken the same measurements. Because I feel like a lot of people, because literally the only thing we got told when Boris was off was like, stay at home at all costs. Doesn't matter what happens, just stay at home. Just stay at home. Literally, stay at home. If you go out the house, you would die. Stay at home. If you go outside, the apocalypse will happen. The four horsemen will rise, and the world will burn. Yeah. Which, if you go to Australia, literally happened. Is that too soon?
Yeah. I mean, I don't live in Australia, so I can't say. But it's not too. That was January, wasn't it? Yeah. Did we start the year with the world on fire? We did.
I think we just finished it. I think the world literally stopped burning.
January?
I think by the time we started, we stopped the fire and then started the podcast.
I think it was because we started the podcast beginning of Feb, didn't we? I think the world was on fire at that point.
Okay, well, yeah.
I think so. Well, 16 weeks ago. I don't. Yeah, anyway, it doesn't matter. We can do that.
Yeah. It was, and I just want to point out, jokes aside, it was awful, and I'm sorry for you lot for your.
Oh yeah, fully. Like horrible thing, but we do make jokes. Like we've made un-PC jokes. This is what we do.
Yeah, we're not very PC, and we're going to talk about George Floyd. This is going to be a terrible idea to do.
Don't preface it like that. It makes it so much worse than it already is. We haven't said anything yet.
I know. I'm preempting it. Oh my god. This is...
Oh my god.
We'll take this, despite that joke and laughter, we will take the matter seriously.
Oh yeah, fully. But anyway,
Yeah.
I just want to say, Dominic Cummings, I don't approve of every measure he took. Obviously, when he went out and went round the castle and stuff, that's almost like that. You know, that was unneeded going out. He said it was for reasons that he easily could have made up. Where he's just like, I just wanted to drive to test my eyesight because I was feeling rough, but I needed to be back in MP. Anyway, he's I don't think what he did. Or how the new media blew it out of proportion as well. Just I want to say that quick.
Well,
if we had one day of coverage, I think that would have been fine. Having like a week's worth of coverage on Dominic Cummings. Also, he got blocked on. He couldn't trend on Twitter because his last name was blocked by their porn filter. I hope you like that. I thought you'd like that. He's laughing.
That's funny. That's hilarious. Anyway, yeah.
Anyway, sorry, I'm ranting.
He's Yeah, it's a fault of the government for not providing that information he did, that thing and everything else. I mean, I feel like he did bad because of the information that was given to the general public, and I think that's why the general public are outraged.
Yeah.
And I will say this, I do feel like him going, I've done nothing wrong, this and everything else, and going through things, I feel like him going around the castle and everything else, I feel like politicians have this weird thing, they can't admit they're wrong. For some weird reason. They just can't come out and be like, okay, look, I did this, it didn't work out.
Yeah.
You know, and I will appreciate
I think it got to such an extreme level with him, though. Sorry to interrupt you again. I just want to say, I feel like it got to such an extreme level of hate towards him for everything that if he said, "Oh, I admit that I did wrong on this one thing," it just would have blown out of proportion even more.
Oh no, yeah,
it was handled so poorly by him that it went well out of proportion.
I think it's handled poorly by the press. I think the press was bored. The press was bored, and they wanted actually something to report on that wasn't like stay at home and PPE related things. The press were like, we need something.
Fully.
Wait, this guy with a hilarious last name he went out to a what could be a very reasonable. How dare he? We'll crucify him.
Yeah,
it's like the Jeremy Clarkson thing. When Jeremy Clarkson got fired by the BBC, everyone involved, even the person who got noshed in the chin, was like it got blown out way out of proportion.
Yeah.
All of them said that it got blown way out of proportion. The press got hold of it and just ran with it because the press get bored.
He's
Press
a huge
love.
star.
Yeah, he's a huge star, and press like doing that. I don't, and that's the thing. It's not. That's why
his name brings clicks and views on buyers of papers, right?
Yeah.
Like his name by itself. Saying he got fired, that's huge.
Yeah, and the press like to create anger and rage and everything else. They like to do it. I think it's the given response to anything that's slightly outrageous. Yeah. Or anything is instead of listening and trying to understand a person's point of view or anything, it's just get angry and start yelling. It's like. True. But anger makes you unable to think. Anger's useful. Anger's very useful in circumstances and everything else. But it stops you thinking. It makes you brain dead. The only thing you care about is your opinion. Your opinion is fact. And if you disagree, I'm gonna yell. I'm gonna yell louder than you until you stop. I don't care if I don't care if the person's talking to me about the meaning of life and he gives me the meaning of life or how to cure cancer. I'm right and I'm going to yell louder until you believe I'm right. That's the thing, and it makes people ignorant.
I fully agree. It can just get over things, over yelled at. And I mean, talking about all this, do you want to start leading on to George Floyd? Do you want to bring up press coverage, the whole situation? How much do you want to cover on this? Because I feel like just filling in the gaps here is pretty essential, and our sort of take on it.
All right, okay. Well, if we go talk about this, we're going to be 100% honest.
Go for it.
And we're not going to make any jokes.
Okay.
At all. And I'm gonna start off with saying that me and Joel talked about whether or not we should talk about this on the podcast.
We did.
We both agreed we wanted to mention it, and we wanted to support the protests, and and say how heartbreaking it is. But I was concerned about talking about it because the tensions are high. However, as we started talking, the subject, it became more about just racism in general.
Yeah.
Which I feel is a good subject. We're not going to talk solely about George Floyd.
Yes.
Because I think everything that's been said and being said and everything else it has been at this point. I don't think we can. I don't think we're going to add anything. But we can. But I feel like talking about racism in general and our experiences of what we've seen and everything else in the world that we've grew up in and everything else is a good thing. It's a good thing to do.
Yeah. So let's preface it by we spoke about this briefly before the podcast, as you said.
Yeah, and it's something. Yeah, we're going to talk about racism. Something we should talk about.
Yeah,
and we're going to be serious about it.
Yeah, I want to say, you said yesterday, because me and you have spoken the whole weekend, right? Friday, Saturday, Sunday. You said you didn't know what had actually happened, right? Yesterday you were unaware with our friend group. Well, you just knew this person had passed away.
I knew he passed away, and it was because I knew he passed away. People were angry, and it was because of a police officer, a white police officer.
Yes.
Since then, I have done some research, and I do know more of the spiel. But for people who don't know Joel, please fill them in, because I know you're itching just to explain that. Oh, come on.
I do love it. I do love to explain. All right, so George Floyd, obviously, this whole situation is horrible, and we've got is a police report and CCTV footage right now. The body cam footage has not been revealed as at the point of us recording this, so this could change because I'm going to report on police report context, which may be falsified. We don't know. Obviously, let's hopefully not be the situation. Fingers crossed. So he basically got the police called on him because a shopkeeper called the police saying he had paid a false $20 bill in the shop to buy cigarettes. He said the man he thinks was drunk. The police came out to arrest him, put him in handcuffs. Where the police report says he resisted arrest, the CCTV footage doesn't quite corroborate that because it shows him in handcuffs or being detained up against a wall and then put in the car. They say from there he resisted arrest. We haven't seen that, and CCTV footage can't cover it because he's in the car. And then it cuts to is the video that everyone has seen. If you've seen the video, which is horrible, and hopefully, if you want to look at it, we're not going to link it in the base because it's horrible to see. But it's the police officer kneeling on the man's neck, which happens for 8 minutes and 40 seconds, I believe, while he's unconscious after 6. So that's what we've got, and that's the police report there. So he resisted, but how calm he is in the CCTV footage, it's hard to believe that. Again, he could be like maybe it got in the car, something flipped. Maybe he was drunk. We don't know, or I don't know personally. But none of this is okay.
No, I think regardless if he did resist arrest or not, I think regardless of that, the fact that the actions of the police led to a man's death isn't okay.
100%. None of this situation is acceptable. That was an unacceptable way to pin someone down to the floor. This situation should have never happened, regardless of race.
Yeah.
And it's horrendous
because
how poorly this has been handled.
Yeah, and in case people are listening in America or elsewhere in the world, we are from the UK.
Yes.
And the idea of this happening in the UK in any way is completely surreal. It's completely alien. We cannot imagine it happening. Police officers here surely have to deal with people resisting arrest, and we've never experienced anything like this, like someone kneeling and basically strangling someone to death on their neck. We've never experienced anything like that, and the idea of happening here is not real. And
for me personally, it almost feels for me personally, that it's so barbaric. It feels like a third world country.
It is.
Like it feels like this
definitely.
Happened somewhere where police are fully corrupt. For this to happen in a first world country across the Atlantic for us is insane.
It is insane. It's and therefore we're not going to fully understand the American point of view. We can't relate, but we can talk about our country and the places we have visited, because I am brown. I think if we bring this up, I am brown.
Yeah.
I'm not white, basically. And I have experienced racism. Joel's even seen it firsthand, me being
Definitely.
Stopped by even police.
Mm.
That was a weird moment. You was doing a little bit of parkour, and he came to tell you off. And I think he said it out of curiosity, but where was you from? Staring directly at me. And when I gave him the answer, he realised that he did wrong, and then turned to you in a panic motion and was like, where are you from? Which Joel is literally was one of those, but you look English.
Yeah, I'm blonde with blue eyes and very white.
Yeah. Have you experienced racism? I don't think you would.
I've never experienced racism ever. Like again, it's something that I feel like I've come to terms with so much more in the last couple of years, where I don't think I was ignorant to the matter, you know. I have been very privileged, and it's amazing. Well, it's amazing that all this still goes on for me. Like so horrific. I don't really know how much to say about it. Like when you say you got stopped and searched when you were with me, out of me running around and doing jumps, and you were just near me. Like you did nothing. Yeah. And that baffles me, and I found that strange at the time. And that was probably 7 years ago now, right?
Yeah,
a while ago.
Yeah, I mean, it used to be a usual occurrence. Despite usual occurrence. Despite that, my experience with British police are actually very good. Very good. I mean, I normally get stopped and I get asked a few questions, and it normally leads to them being, all right, clearly you're okay. Yeah. Go by your business and everything else. You know,
but clearly in America, this sometimes isn't the case, and our heart goes out to George Floyd and all his family. Obviously, I think I just want to say that as well. Yeah, like this is
100% good call. I mean, I'll happily talk about the worst case I had was in this country. The worst case I've had was not in this country, but the second worst case I had is in this country.
Okay.
Which is during Brexit, which despite everything people may think, Britain is actually not that bad.
No, we're much better than how I see America.
26. Bear in mind, I'm 26. I've never moved the country and everything else, and this is the only severe incident I've had. And they did get arrested and they did get trialed. I just want to point that out. But they. I
was gonna say even one's too many, really, isn't it?
Well, what happened was that someone drove past and threw a bottle of piss at me, and give them credit, it was a great shot, but it splattered it did splatter all over me.
Give them credit there.
And yelled, "Go back home, you stinking packy."
Wow, really? That is horrible.
They got caught. It's the place that happened, there was CCTV, they got the thing, they got the vehicle, and it was just done shut case. There was me. I confessed. I said that's the van. That looked like the guy. They actually got the P and used that to find out if it was him or not, and everything else for my shirt. So it was done shut. It was nice and easy. They got trialed. They got put in. I think the driver got fined, and I think the person who actually did it did go into jail for a period of time. Not for an extensive period, but he did go to jail.
Wow, you ruined someone's life. How do you feel about that?
Well, you shouldn't be, you shouldn't be a racist bastard.
They fully deserve that.
The worst
sorry, I feel like you said we weren't going to joke about this. I'm definitely making jokes straight away. That was obviously horrible.
I feel like you're making jokes because you're uncomfortable. That's generally what we do.
It's such a serious subject now. I'm not used to this. Yeah. I make jokes when I'm uncomfortable.
The first one that's happened, I won't mention the countries involved at all because it did happen on holiday. Okay. But basically, I was 13, 14, I think I was 13. The person I was with, who was a family friend, I think he was 11 or 12 at the time. Yeah. At this point, I feel like if you're not white, you get used to being not white. And you get used to that people are going to point things out to you. Normally, I'll talk about my usual thing, which is actually where you're from. That's my usual thing. Yeah. And most people are asking it out of curiosity. So I don't take massive offence to that normally. Unless they just stand out, don't believe my answer, which is like, clearly I'm going to waste 5 minutes of your life I'm trying to explain that I am English.
I'm English through and through.
Yeah,
please.
but you're not. You're clearly not. It's like, I'm sorry to disappoint you, but I am.
Yeah.
Accept
It's
it.
like when they ask where your parents from though, and you're like, England.
You've literally been there, like England. Yeah, but what about your grandparents? England. Great grandparents? Like, mate, we get beat for a long while. England.
Yeah.
And when they accept it, they're like, so you're really English? Like that, the shock and surprise. Like, really? It's like, yeah. That's the most common thing. But the story I was mentioning before isn't nice. Basically, we found that, like at the end of most hotels, like in the evening, they have a little show in the background thing and everything else. Me and this person, my friend, I end up calling my brother because he's a close family friend and everything else.
Okay.
He's basically and he's like you.
Yeah.
We were like, we found an arcade, and we played the PlayStation 2. And people who are curious, we played Worms because that's a great multiplayer game.
Was it Worms 3D?
Yeah, it was Worms 3D. It was brilliant.
Sick game.
It was a sick game. Anyway, 3 nights we played it. It was fine. A bunch of lads came in on the 4th night, and they were upset with us. At the time I didn't really know why, but they were upset. Started mucking around. They started making tick tick noises in reference to because the Gulf War was going on. They're making tick tick noises and asking when I'll explode, because
wow,
clearly I'm a terrorist.
Yeah.
I'm not. Just in case people are like, take that literally, I am not.
Yeah, I think we can get the sarcasm coming through, even though through this.
And they kept doing the whole thing. I stood up in a little bit to the point where they stopped enough for us to carry on our game and everything else. It got to the point where I had to go back to my room. I went back to my room. Next day, however, I found out that they roughed my friend up and threatened him because white people and brown people do not mix.
Wow.
And told him that if they find him being friends with me again, they'll break his legs.
Wow. And how old were you guys at that point? Were you 13 as well?
I was 13. He was 12. Maybe I think he was 11 going on 12 or something like that. And
it's funny that you say it looks exactly like me and it's the same age gap.
Yeah.
I'm like, it was me. I actually got concussion and don't remember it at all. Maybe I should joke about that.
Yeah, no. But people are wondering what happened. As Joel knows, my family, when we go on holiday, we go on holiday en masse. My cousins, who at the time had bodies of young adults, but they were teenagers. They were, put it that way. And they came over and started talking to the group of kids. The parents got involved, and then our parents. They backed down due to the fact that they got outnumbered. But no punches were thrown and everything else, and we're still friends. Me and the person that I'm referring to after are still friends. It didn't affect anything. Although I didn't talk to him for a whole day. He avoided me for a whole day.
Really? Even your friend felt that uncomfortable? That's sad.
Well, no, yeah. I mean, it changed everything else and stuff like that. But I mean, that's literally... Yeah, that's literally the worst incident. There's been a few other things. Like
it is a bit mental.
Yeah, in Mexico, the only case I can say for about America was when I was in Mexico, where a American thought I was part of the staff and told me to get him a beer and another burger and some chips, and I went, "Get him yourself, you fat fucking cunt."
Good response.
And he looked at me like completely shocked, like, "Oh, sorry, what?" I'm like, "You heard me." And just walked off like, dick.
That's funny. I will say actually, sorry, I didn't bring up the officer has been arrested. The officer that killed him.
Yeah, I believe he's been tried and everything else, isn't he?
He's been charged. You've been charged with 3rd-degree murder, which possibly lenient. I don't think the sentencing has been done because it could possibly be taken as 2nd-degree murder, which I know a lot of people are pushing for now, and I don't disagree with it. I think it's great that the law system has acted so quickly because of obviously everything that's going on. Yeah. I think that the footage is so raw and so obvious. Like it was hard that it took even so long for that, because originally he was placed on administrative leave, I believe, but that may not be true. They were fired. All 4 of the officers have been fired that were involved, and he has now been charged, the one that was leaning on his neck.
Yeah, I think
which is it for the best.
Yeah,
for the
I
best.
think it's only a matter of time before the other officers get charged as well. I imagine.
Possibly. I guess we have to wait and see.
They participated, so.
Yeah. Yeah, they didn't stop anyone. So anyway, I think we should get onto a slightly more cheerful topic. I think we'll get onto the anime in just 1 second.
I actually wanted to talk to the fact that we did have a problem in this country for a bit, which is in the 70s.
Oh, go on. Yeah, please.
Yeah, we did. Yeah, the same. Because I spoke to my dad about it.
Yeah.
And he said, we don't remember. As I said, we grew in a very, very nice time in this country where really nothing happens. And if something does happen and you do report it, the police will act.
Yeah.
To the best of their ability. If you give them enough evidence, they will act. They will track it down. I feel, it's not always the case. It's always, it's not always the case. But most of the time, that is, I feel like 80% to 85% of the time, that is the case in this country.
Okay.
And but my dad did point out that in the 70s that wasn't the case. It was very much like what we kind of saw in this video. Not to the same extent, but very much like if you was a black person driving a car, you would get pulled over. Type thing. And
you're saying 70s that was
in the 70s, yeah. And
wow.
We've progressed a lot. And
yeah. That's 40 years. No, 50 years. 50 years.
And I'm going to call America's shit out here. We've been here before, haven't we, man? I mean, come on. This is not the first time. This is not going to be the last time. This keeps happening. You need to ask, if you want change to serious to happen, you need to have a good hard look in the mirror and ask why it keeps happening.
Yeah.
And
yeah, I saw someone post like all the cases of like people's last words, and that was really heartbreaking to watch. Like people that have been held at gunpoint that have almost for no reason kind of thing and have been killed by the police. And it was like a list of like 25, 30. Well, I mean, this probably isn't all of them. And I was just, it made me feel uncomfortable, which it should.
Yeah,
it really did.
America has got a problem, and I do want to point out that I know we're kind of crapping on you, and I did mention a story about that. I've met other Americans in Mexico, and you've been absolutely delightful. I don't want to. Yeah. It's not. You're not all bad. It's just you do have a problem, and you need to address it. Let's be honest.
Yeah, I think it's the problem in the police force. Truly, right? I mean, there's been other cases that we've mentioned where it's it's racism in general, but a police force that are meant to protect you and protect everyone should feel comfortable with.
Oh, definitely.
It's crazy.
Yeah, definitely. But I think
you can view it so differently between races.
Yeah, I mean, as an outsider it is. I do feel it is linked a little bit to gun crime. The only reason why some police officers feel that they can act that way is because, well, he could have a gun, he could have a weapon, he could have this. It's always like, well, no, what if he had a gun? And it's in this country the fact that guns are America's very different. There is definitely an argument for there to be guns in America. I have always said this. If I lived in the outback in America or in the wilderness in the Wild West, and I'm camping around and a wild bear and a big grizzly bear turns up, would I want a gun? Yes. Yeah. I would definitely want a gun or wolves. Or coyotes, or anything that's big with sharp teeth and going to eat me, yes, I'm going to want a gun. However, I don't see the need for a gun in a city. That what you going to hunt a squirrel?
Yeah.
And the idea is that I need it for protection. Yeah, but the biggest argument is this:
if no one else had a gun, you wouldn't need it for protection, though.
Well, no, the argument is this: who do you need protection from? Who's after you for starters? Like most people, most of you lot. Me and you are generally nobodies. We're not of interest to anyone really. I don't know. We're interested to each other, and we clearly think it would be a great idea to have a podcast. But we're not. We're not interesting generally we're not that important. No one's going to want to hunt us down and murder us.
Yeah.
And if they did, I'll be like, well, that's your motivation. I mean, why? You made a bad podcast. That's fair enough. But I mean,
yeah, I do want to preference. Sorry, just one last thing of we're making this. Obviously, we are not American. We don't have all the facts. So I've researched as much as I can into this, but we'd love to hear other people's opinions. Yeah, this isn't just us. And if we've been ignorant in any way, I understand. But we're trying to give it our best opinion and observe it of the facts that we've seen.
This is an open discussion, and we're willing to learn.
Yeah, definitely. Anyway, sorry. Do you want to carry on with anything more, or should we move on? Yeah.
I feel like we can talk about this. We can make a whole podcast of this. I feel.
Yeah, we could go longer and longer, but we've already put 15 minutes.
Yeah, we need to talk about the movie as well at some point.
I just want to do something light-hearted real quick.
Yeah, shall we? Because the movie is deep.
Yeah.
The movie's not exactly light-hearted. Let's do something cheerful so we can laugh again.
Yeah,
before,
all right.
before we all go monotone again.
All right, one thing. There's one thing that I really want to talk about that I'm going to nerd out on, but I might do it just quickly after the movie if that's all right. But one light-hearted thing, real quick. Did you see this Tony Hawk TikTok thing?
No.
Tony
did a TikTok?
This was amazing. So a UPS driver got run up to by a little kid. All right, and the little kid had his skateboard sign saying "To Tony Hawk" from Cooper, and just said, "Can you give this to Tony Hawk? It's my old skateboard. I'd love him to get it." And his mum was like, "Yeah, send it to Tony Hawk." You know, the UPS driver was obviously just meant to throw it away. He made a TikTok of this saying, "Isn't this the cutest thing in the world?" Obviously, he doesn't have Tony Hawk's address. He can't send it to him. Tony Hawk saw this TikTok. He then signed 2 of his custom boards and sent them to the kid and his brother and posted it via that UPS driver.
Brilliant.
Isn't that the cutest thing? And there's a TikTok of the kid just being so excited, like just amazed. He did a TikTok basically replying to the kid saying, "You guys are going to be great skaters." And he's like 8. I was just amazed.
That's so heartwarming.
Yeah. Just something a little bit cheerful. Let's bring the mood up a bit.
That's so good. And that's so much better.
Yeah.
I feel so much
I feel better about it.
Oh, God. Yeah. I mean,
it made me tear up a little bit. I was like, that's cute. In all this horribleness going on right now, just Tony Hawk doing bits. Being a bamf.
Oh, yeah. We need that right now. That's so good. I needed that after that very deep discussion. I was like, Joel could probably see, like, I was there like, yeah, what's the point?
Slumping a bit.
I was like, yeah, this is a fun podcast, isn't it?
Yeah, this isn't our type of podcast. I'm not very good at serious, so
no,
I think getting this was so important that it was needed to be said.
Yeah, you were struggling so hard.
Yeah,
I can tell you like they're going like.
So I hope everyone else is enjoying their drinks.
You were so familiar with being serious. You actually stuttered. You never stutter. You're like going this. I was like, Joel's stuttering. He's this is some heavy dude. I mean,
it's crazy. I feel like although I want to get my opinion across, and I feel like I have, it's obviously you've got to tread lightly. It's such a sensitive subject. I feel like we still put our opinion across well, so I don't regret what we've said. Anyway, let's go on to the film then. But as we do every year, every week. Oh my god, this whiskey's hit me hard. Every week, we have watched The Wind Rises.
The Wind Rises.
Which
was released in 2013. It actually wasn't meant to be the next film. I got it wrong. It was meant to be Ponyo. But hey, it's the last 2 films. It'd be fine.
Yeah. Also, it was nominated for an Oscar.
Yeah. It did win.
Didn't. No. Frozen won, I think.
This is probably more of an Oscar-winning worthy film. I think it's the fact that Frozen is American. Let's be honest. Frozen is American, and also it was so big. It was like
Frozen was sick.
If it didn't get an Oscar, people would be like, "How did it not get an Oscar? How did this Wind Rises film get an Oscar, and not Frozen?" It's like, it's more of an Oscar. When you think of Oscar films, this is more of an Oscar film.
Yeah. Well,
Frozen is good. Frozen is amazing. I just want to point out, I did like Frozen.
Yeah, it's the thing is the way Oscars are done. It's performance, which is hard to do on an animated film. The storyline can be phenomenal, but it still has to be done well. I think Frozen hits all the points that you'd want from an enjoyable film.
It's a great kids film, and this is very much not a kids film.
Yeah. Anyway, this is definitely more your segment, so please kick us off.
Okay, the one thing I do know that this is a manga. What's it called? The Japanese comics.
Manga.
That's the thing.
I'm just here from pronunciation.
Pretty much. Alcohol, right?
Yeah. Oh my god, I'm pouring another one. This is bad.
Yeah, it was of the same name by Miyazaki. So he actually wrote the manga. They made a film of it. So he wrote it and made a film.
Cute.
That's how great is that? Like, I'm gonna write something, publish it, then I'm gonna turn it into a film because I can. Because I'm
pretty good.
At this point, I'm one of the most respected animators and storytellers in Japan, if not the world. So yeah, I'll do what the hell I want.
As he should.
It's called. It's categorized as a fictionalized biopic of the creator of the Eurofighter.
Okay.
Jiro God, the last name. Man, Japanese, your last names are just difficult, man.
I'm sure they think the same of us.
Hyora Kishiri. I'm just calling him Jiro.
Hiroshiro, isn't it?
Hiroshiro. Is that? That's got a
Is that
K
what he
in
says? I don't know. I remember listening to it earlier.
it. Jiro.
Jiro.
We say Jiro.
Jiro.
But yeah, this film was so arty.
Yeah.
There was a lot of art. I mean, what did you think? I liked it. I thought I liked it. There's a lot of things in it. I was like, interesting. I like that idea. Didn't always work out sometimes, but I thought it was interesting.
Yeah. Alright, my take on it. I love planes. I really, really love planes. It's a big thing for me. It's a very soft spot in my heart. And this whole film is based around the creation of as you said, the Eurofighter, which is the Japanese aircraft in the Second World War. It felt strange being like, hey, you feel like a soft spot for the Japanese and the Germans when you're building planes for the Nazis. Obviously, they were extremely great engineers, and it shows that. Like, it shows the technology advancement between sort of the beginning and the end of what they could do, which is what the Nazis did, and World War II did for the invention of the jet engine and metal aircraft. It was a huge jump in that, and it shows that, and it shows the character having conflict between wanting to make great aircraft and not wanting to make war machines. And I love that. That was a fine line, and I think they did it well.
And I did actually look up, so I was thinking, nah, because from our knowledge, from we understand that Japan and the Japanese people were like, yeah, we're like fully in support of the war and everything else. We don't. It's kind of a very forgotten, documented thing in this country, which is bad. I know it more because my granddad fought in it, but even from accounts from him and his war, like, Japanese prisoners were a rarity. They would not surrender. They would rather take their own lives and everything that regard and everything else.
Yeah.
So the idea of watching this film and the main character being like, yeah, I'm not actually for war. I was like, but you sure? Because I'm pretty sure Japan was like, at the time, was very much like that. And I actually did research into him, and he has multiple diary entries before World War II basically saying that, mate, I'm so glad I'm making these fantastic planes, but why on earth are we going to declare war on the United States? It's just a suicide mission. Like, literally,
is this based on a real person?
This is based on a real person.
Oh, that's pretty amazing. I didn't know that.
It's based on a real person, and he had. Hang on, let me go on Wikipedia. It has a quote from his diary. It has a quote from his diary. It says, "When we woke on the morning of December the 8th, 1941, and we found ourselves without any foreknowledge to be embodied in war. Since then, the majority of us who had truly understood the awesome industrial strength of the United States never really believed that Japan would win this war."
Wow.
Wow. And then it goes, and then goes like, he believed that Japan government had a better diplomatic issues, but now, I don't want to say, despite our strong government to seek a diplomatic way out, we are being driven to doom. Japan is being destroyed. I cannot do anything other than blame the military hierarchy and the blind politicians in power for dragging Japan into this hellish cauldron of defeat.
Wow, that's amazing, because that's actually how he comes across in the film. He loves building the aircraft, but then hates the idea of the war and thinks the politicians are wrong. That's brilliant. I didn't know that was a real person. That definitely adds another level to the film.
Because his friend is also a real person, and he's very vocal about going like, why are we making... He's a great engineer, and he wants to make nice planes and everything else. But he's very critical about the fact that Japan's always... Because at the time, Japan, it's weird thinking about it now, but at the time, Japan was like almost like 10 years in the past and everything else.
Yeah.
It was like so years behind and everything else. And of course, the Great Depression was going on at the time. And he was going like, why are we spending all this money on making bombers and planes and fighters and stuff when we need people to... We could pay to feed people. We need to do these things to help people with things, but we're not... it's very much a...
I guess they were hoping to win the war and take land as sort of their reward and take earnings as that way, right?
It was a distraction.
Okay.
It was a distraction that to give people something to cheer about, take their mind off it. Wars are high. It was at that period of time. War was high risk, high reward.
Yeah.
So you get more land, you can enslave the people and everything else. It's just like, yeah, it's still a little bit of imperialism kicking around, I guess, you can argue.
Yeah, I guess back in the day it probably was still, right?
Well, it's only World War Two. It was already at dying on its knees anyway, but it was very much a little bit left.
Mental that it's 80 years ago now.
But yeah, it's so arty. Like, I love the fact they use choir or voices for the plane engines and for certain events. Like the fire
used it a
was,
lot.
Yeah, the fire was choir. The earthquake was the thing.
Yeah.
Must admit, as much as I like the idea of making the plane engine sound like have people voices behind it to make it more human, maybe in some ways more human or more living embodiment.
Personified it.
Yeah, it did turn me out a little bit. I was like, this is a great idea, and I watched it. I was going, this is a great idea, and I was going,
yeah,
it doesn't work though.
Yeah,
great idea.
I fully agree with you. I think the one point that really turned me off with that was when the plane crashed. And then all the parts started falling, like the engine fell and the pipes and to go between, and each piece fell with like different human voice.
Yeah,
that really, I was like, what am I watching? Like it didn't work. It felt very pull me out the film.
Yeah, the dream sequences as well. I thought they were brilliant. I thought they actually were brilliant. The dream sequences between the thing and everything else. Also, right at the end. Unfortunately, I'm bringing my middle class nerdy artness to the scene. At the end, he walks through his own version of Totis Mere, also known as Dead Sea, which is a famous painting by Paul Nash. That was painted in 1940, and that version shows a bunch of German crash planes that fell during the Blitz or during the Battle of Britain, piled up to make it look like a sea of dead planes. And actually at the end he walks through and it's like it's the same thing but Japanese planes. I was like, I know exactly where he got that from.
That's
I know
sick. I didn't click that at all. I just thought I thought it was very cool looking.
Yeah, no, it's very like I watched it, I was like, okay, I know exactly where he's going for this. It's a very 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 good anti-war, anti-Nazi art that was done at the time. It's very famous. All you have to do is type in a sea of dead planes, and it'll be like the first picture that pops up.
Okay, yeah, it was brilliant. I think that imagery of like, again, it was sort of anti-Nazi at the same time as being we support the Japanese. Obviously, it's a Japanese film. It was beautiful. It was done well. It was a fine line to write, and I think it was done very well. I think they went back to the old version. So before we watched the last three, like Princess Mononoke, Spirited Away, it went back to the ones before that sort of style, that slice of life kind of take. Yeah. Even though it went over a much larger time period now, much larger. This is probably the largest time period we've seen. Because it went over sort of 20 years.
He's trying to cover his life until the Zero plane got made.
Yeah, and I think it was great. I think it worked really nicely. I would give it. It definitely was my favorite. I think I'd give it a 7.5. I wasn't in the mood to watch the film this time, and I had left it till today, and I didn't want to watch it because I was hungover. And as soon as I started, it just hooked me in, as they all do. It just grabs you. It does keep you going.
I did enjoy watching this film. I enjoyed watching it from a very different perspective, like a very very different perspective. Like, I'm used to seeing war films normally done by the British or American viewpoint. It's very few from the German or Russian or Japanese. Yeah, and it was refreshing. It was refreshing seeing it from someone who was clinical. What am I doing? What are you laughing at? Am I?
You're a computer fan.
All right.
I can hear it like a
jet engine.
Sound effects. Carry on. Hopefully that the mic doesn't pick it up, but he needs a new laptop and his fan's dying.
Yeah, but so
yeah. What would you give it out of 10?
I reckon I'll probably give it a 7. I might, if I push it, I could probably give it if I push, I'll probably make it a 7.5. I wouldn't make it an 8. But it's a good film. It's worth watching.
Definitely.
I
still think my favourite is Spirited Away. Okay. That's won it for me so far.
Yeah, mine's definitely Spirited Away and Howl's Moving Castle. Followed by the delivery service, Kiki's Delivery Service.
Cool. That was a good one. Yeah, I mean, they've all been good. None of them have been poor. I think the worst one was probably the first one we watched, right?
Yeah.
I'll say
that's the first one. But I mean, that's
None of it's bad though.
That's pretty understandable. I have seen the Nausicaa Valley of the Wind, which is the one that wasn't actually done by Studio Ghibli, but all the people who made Studio Ghibli made it.
Oh, okay, yeah. The one way before.
Yeah, way before. And that was also another manga that was written by Miyazaki and then turned into a film for different reasons.
Oh, wow. That's cool.
Yeah. But that was...
Is that another real life one? Like
no, that's not based on someone's life. It's completely fantasy. And I actually feel like when I was watching it, I was like, this would be better as a TV series. Like if HBO want a replacement for Game of Thrones, I think that would be the best option for it. I literally there's no reason for it.
Hey, that'd be good. That'd be good. Oh, so sorry. What's the next film? Is it Ponyo?
Yeah, Ponyo. Which it's. I can't really say anything. It's gonna be fun seeing Joel's reaction. I want to watch your reaction to the film because I have actually seen this film before.
Perfect.
And
okay,
I watched it, and I was
Ponyo.
Yeah.
And we'll definitely be on that next week. I can't wait for that. Why is it? Is it more about planes? I love that most of their stuff is about planes. They love the wind or the air in this.
It's not about planes.
Damn it. All right. Well, anyway,
but it's going to be a fun movie for you to watch. Like I can't wait to watch your opinion, to watch your reaction, and to hear your review of it because it's going to be interesting.
Fantastic. Okay. I realise we're coming up to time, just because I know we're keeping it to an hour now. I can either. Do you want to kick off? I want to say stuff about SpaceX real quick, if that's okay.
All right, go on.
We don't have.
Is this your rant?
I am amazed, and I absolutely love space and SpaceX to have the first commercial company to send up astronauts onto the International Space Station yesterday at 8 p.m. UK time was absolutely phenomenal, absolutely amazing. It not only was it a full success, and about 4 hours ago they docked onto the International Space Station. I watched it live with a few friends. It was a brilliant experience. It opens up so many opportunities for more people to be doing this and more astronauts to go up, as now it's not just NASA or the cosmonauts. It is a private company. Their rocket, the Heavy Falcon, landed successfully back down, so it's reusable, saving tens of thousands. It's just, and then after all of that as well, we got to watch the space station circle through the air over the UK, which I got a video of and just watched it with the family. It was a really lovely day, and I love it. It just really.
I'm gonna interrupt because Joel knows I'm also a huge fan of space.
Yeah.
But yesterday I disappeared for a bit. I think for a quiz with my family and everything else, and I came back, and Joel was like, "Did you watch the video?" I was like, I've seen a few rockets go up in my time. I know what they kind of do. And Joel's like, and you were so hyped up for it. You were like so nerding out. Like,
yeah.
I was waiting for you to get your Haley rabbit. Guys, this is amazing. But
a pocket protector on.
Talking of nerds, he was really nerding out.
I loved it so much. It really did mean a lot to me. It was just watching it, especially with the other guys that got excited for it. It was brilliant. Little C got really hyped. It was great. And I'm amazed, and I look forward to seeing what they can do next. They're up there for 3 months now. It was brilliant, and I just wanted. We can link the video in the description if you want, Sean. Do you think that's worth it?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll link the video if people want to watch the rocket launch. This is a moment in history.
We also get a link some funny videos because I don't feel this episode has been funny enough. I feel like this has been a very serious episode, and I feel people come here for a nice, light-hearted fun, and we've gone serious deep. So there'll be funny. We'll post like a funny cat video and a Lee Evans video, which is Lee Evans is always funny. Lee Evans.
To be honest, we're playing D&D sesh, and we've been watching a lot of D&D videos. So find your funniest one, send me that. I'll pop it in the description, and
yeet that dice out of your life because you don't need. Yeet that dice out of your life because you don't need that negativity.
Exactly. Yeet the dice.
I don't even play it. This is the thing that Joel's literally got me hooked. I don't even watch. I don't even play it. I'm watching like 3 at a time. I get the humour. That's why I like it. It's like, okay, this is funny.
It's great, isn't it?
Bards are the best class.
Oh, sorry.
By far.
But yeah, Bard is you in a nutshell, mate. I can't wait.
If I do end up playing, it won't be my first character. It will definitely be my second though. I feel like I'm going to start with fighter because I feel that's a good starting point. It's a good way to start
fighter barbarian or variant human, probably.
I don't know. Let's go fighter human. Nice, easy.
Do a variant human, probably. But anyway, we can discuss that later.
Fair enough.
Yeah, that'd be good. I look forward to hosting a D&D. I'll be DMing if anyone knows what D&D is. The Would You Rathers, I think that we are wrapping up now. I had one today that I spoke to a friend about, and it really got me thinking. It's not deep or anything. I just found it really funny. Yeah, sorry. Do you want to lead on to that? Do you have anything else to say before we wrap up? Sorry, I feel like we ranted that off for the last bit.
Nah, it's all good.
Sick. Okay, so here's one. If once a week you had to lay an egg, and it was like a bad stomach cramp, and then you pooped out an egg.
Right.
And if you put it in a box, at the end of the week, someone would come and collect it from you, and they'd give you £100 once a week.
Right.
Would you do that? You have basically you'll just get a stomach cramp randomly during the week at any time. It'll make you feel uncomfortable, and you have 10 minutes to basically poop out an egg. It comes out clean.
Could I, out of interest,
Go on.
could I, let's say, swap it with another egg of a similar size, and then and then crack my own egg open and see what's in it?
No. So if you want to crack your own egg open, you can still lay them every single week. You just won't get your £100. You have to get it intact in a box to this man. He'll come to you, and you get £100.
Okay, so I can crack it open at any point.
Yeah, if you want to.
And what be in it?
You don't get the money.
What would be in it? We were like a weird embryo version of myself.
I'm going to say a normal egg. It looks almost like a normal egg.
It's a normal egg, so I can fry it and eat my own egg.
Yes.
Okay. What if I keep it warm and incubate it? Would it hatch into a mini version of me?
It's not fertilized.
Okay. Yeah, I'll probably do it.
You do it?
I think I'll do it.
Lay an egg. So but it can happen randomly. You could be at work and it's like, oh, I need to take a poop. Oh, it's the egg. And then you have to look after that till the end of the week. You have to get it in a box and take it home, and then he will pick it up from you Sunday evening. Every Sunday evening.
That'd be fun.
He'll pick it up.
I'm completely cool with that. That'd be fun. Yeah, I mean, I either get hungry and there's nothing in the house, and that's it.
Ew.
Scrambled egg. Done. Just wash it. It's fine. I mean,
you think about it, £100. It gives you £100.
Yeah.
Surely that's more worth it.
Yeah, but I mean, if I'm really hungry, if for whatever reason there's nothing in the house, I'm like, I'm good this week. I can go. Do I want £100 a year? But I can't bother to go to the shop. I just done.
You live opposite a shop.
I do live opposite a shop. Yeah.
How can you? I can't bother to go to the shop. It is literally less than a minute walk from your house.
Yeah, but I have to open the front door and cross the road.
There's literally a shop opposite you. Okay.
I'm not gonna lie. Yeah. I'm not gonna lie. I'll miss the first £100 out of sheer curiosity. I'll just want to cook and eat the egg just to see what it tastes like. Will it taste like? Because I'm like, does it taste like me? Or does it taste like a normal egg? Does it taste like?
I think you have to cook it up to try. I think that's what you have to find out.
It's just sheer curiosity. I mean, you can't blame someone that. I mean, would you do that? I mean, that's the first thing I'll do. So.
Oh no, sorry, I wouldn't eat the egg. No. I would do. I'll take the challenge though. But randomly, I feel like it'd be so weird. So here's the other one. If I could say that you could do it in multiples, would you do it?
What?
So let's say, instead of doing one, I offer you two. So 2 times in the week randomly.
Yeah, I'll probably still do it.
What happens if I said 100?
What, 100 times during a week? No, I'll be there on the toilet all the time just shitting eggs.
Yeah, but £10,000 a week.
Yeah, but I can't spend it. I'm literally just on the toilet shitting eggs.
True, but
Amazon will come my best friend.
Let's say if it's randomly, and it can be to 10 minutes time. You need to be on the toilet for 10 minutes, kind of thing.
I think you underestimate how big 100 is in a week.
True, but let's say 10 minutes. How many 10 minutes is 100? It's 10,000 minutes. 10,000 minutes. How many minutes is that of a week? That's nothing.
No, see, I need to have enough time to actually do crap. 2 times a week is once a week is fine. 2 times a week is fine. I think once you get up to the 6 or 7 times a week at random, it becomes a little bit inconvenient.
So you wouldn't do 10 times a week?
Well, no, because you got to have. See, once a week it could be inconvenient because it can happen at any point, any time during the week. But
yeah, but it could just be a bit of a stomachache. You excuse yourself. Done.
Yeah, exactly. But 7 times a week. I mean, what happens in one day? That's your day wasted.
Yeah, true. Well, that's 70 minutes. It's like just over an hour of your time.
True, but okay, fair enough. But
And then you've got to store them all in boxes, though.
It becomes inconvenient. Like if you just want to go to the cinema, or you want to do you meet for friends, or anything. And what happens if you want a training that happens?
Yeah, I mean,
Can you hold it?
So let's say if you did it let's say you did it 10 times a week. That's £1,000 a week. Let's say that could be your job. You could not do anything else, right? £4,000 a week's fine.
Yeah, but you get bored.
You could
One thing I've learned about lockdown is that much as everyone complains about work, when you don't have it, it's like, so what do I do with this free time?
We lay eggs. That's what you do now.
Lay eggs and watch anime.
So what's the max amount of eggs you'd take?
I would say put either 6 or 7. I think I'll struggle with 7. 6 probably is the safest one.
6 eggs. So 600 extra pounds a week.
What about you?
And you'd take a dump of an egg 6 times a week.
Yeah. What about you?
I would love to do 100.
You get nothing done. You know you're meant to go out.
It's like the life, but imagine like our podcast. I'm earning so 40,000 a week, for 40,000 a month, 500 grand a year. I'm 480 grand a year. I'm sitting on a chair that drops the egg into a little cushion, and someone comes and collects it. I'm hiring an assistant at this point to come collect my egg and put it in a box. Yeah, I'm podcasting with you all the time. I'm just mucking about laying eggs, making money. That sounds sick. I have my own theatre room. I'll buy films as they come out. I have enough money to do that.
You need help.
That sounds sick. Anyway, I'm gonna wrap it up there. I think that's for the best. We've just gone over an hour.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for listening again, as everyone. Please like, share, subscribe. We're doing this over and over, week after week. This is week 16. We're so thankful for everyone listening. I think I say this every week. But peace.
Yeah. See you later. Joe Rogan.
Peace out. Spotify, buy us out. Take it easy.
Bye.